Let's journey back over 400 years to dig into one of Japan's greatest and most tantalizing unsolved mysteries: the complete disappearance of a massive treasure, a fortune gathered by one of the country's most legendary leaders, Toyotomi Hideyoshi. And we're not talking about a small amount of cash here. We're talking about a treasure that, in today's money, would be worth around 300 billion yen. That's an absolutely staggering amount of wealth that just, poof, vanished. The big question is, where did it all go? Okay, so picture this. The year is 1615. Osaka Castle, this incredible, impenetrable fortress, is burning. The siege is over and the forces of Tokugawa Ieyasu have won. His men storm the castle's treasury, expecting to find legendary riches. But instead, they find, well, almost nothing. The vaults were empty. The gold was gone. And that single shocking discovery, a castle's empty vault, is what kicks off a mystery that has puzzled people for centuries. Now, to really wrap your head around what was lost, you first have to understand the man behind the treasure, Hideyoshi himself. This was a guy who went from being a peasant's son to the undisputed ruler of Japan, and for him, the ultimate symbol of that power was gold. And he didn't just collect gold, he created his own statement piece, the Tensho Oban. This wasn't just money, it was this huge, heavy gold coin. By seizing all the country's gold and silver mines and then minting these, Hideyoshi was basically stamping his name on the nation's wealth. So what's one of these things actually worth? Well, today, a single Oban coin is valued at around 1.5 million yen. That's more than 10,000 US dollars. For one coin, it really gives you a sense of the scale we're dealing with. And he didn't just have a few of these tucked away. Historical records show that Hideyoshi's personal stash had at least 20,000 of them. And listen, that's just the Oban coins. That's not even counting all the other gold bars and silver he had piled up. You know, Hideyoshi's ambition wasn't just about being rich. It was about showing it off in the most spectacular way imaginable. He literally built a tea room where everything, the walls, the ceiling, even the little tea scoops, was covered in gold. And he did it just to serve tea to the emperor. I mean, talk about a power move. But after Hideyoshi died, his huge fortune and his very young heir were suddenly in a really vulnerable position. And this is where the antagonist of our story, the very patient, very cunning Tokugawa Ieyasu, steps onto the stage. He wanted it all. Now, Ieyasu was smart. He didn't just rush in and declare war. No, he played the long game. First, he encouraged the Toyotomi clan to pour their money into rebuilding temples, basically tricking them into draining their own bank account. Then, he found a brilliant excuse to pick a fight, and only then did he launch the final siege. And the excuse he came up with was just genius. On a huge temple bell that the Toyotomi had paid for, there was an inscription. Ieyasu had his scholars claim that a couple of the characters were secretly a curse against him. It was a total stretch, probably nonsense, but it was all the justification he needed to go to war. So Ieyasu's victory was absolute. The Toyotomi clan was completely wiped out. But what he did next, the secret beneath the castle, was something no one saw coming. It was just strange. The whole conflict went down in two major campaigns, a winter one and a summer one. And by May of 1615, it was all over. The castle fell, and Ieyasu was now the undisputed master of Japan. But it's right at this moment of total victory that the mystery really goes deep. So what do you do when you've just conquered the grandest castle in the entire country? You'd think you'd move in, right? Fix it up, make it your new symbol of power? Well, that's not what Ieyasu did. Not even close. That's right. He didn't rebuild it, he didn't move in, he buried it. Ieyasu ordered the original Toyotomi Castle, its moats, its giant stone walls, everything to be completely covered with dirt. Then he just built a new, smaller castle right on top of it. And we're not talking about a light dusting of soil here. This fact wasn't even confirmed until 1959, when an excavation finally uncovered the original Toyotomi stone walls, perfectly preserved, 7 meters below the ground. So the question is, why on earth would you go to all that trouble to bury a castle? Right, so this bizarre act, combined with the fact that the treasury was empty, has led to some really compelling theories about what actually happened to all of Hideyoshi's gold. There are basically four main ideas. The first one is the mainstream academic view. The money was just spent. Years of war, all that temple construction Ieyasu pushed them into, hiring soldiers, it all probably just bled the treasury dry. Then there's the much more romantic legend that Ieyasu buried the castle because he knew the gold was still hidden inside, and this was his way of sealing it away forever. A third theory suggests that loyal followers managed to sneak the gold out before the castle fell and hid it somewhere safe, but, well, nobody's ever found it. And finally, there's the very plausible idea that the whole 300 billion yen number is a modern exaggeration, and the treasure was never quite that big to begin with. But here's the really cool part. This isn't just some 400-year-old cold case. The story is actually still unfolding, literally right under the streets of Osaka. You have this amazing connection between the past and the present. The very same castle that Ieyasu buried all those centuries ago is now the focus of a huge public project to, you guessed it, unseal it and bring it back into the light. The city of Osaka is running something called the Toyotomi Ishigaki Disclosure Project, and the whole point is to excavate and reveal these buried stone walls so that everyone can see this incredible hidden piece of history. It's just such a powerful reminder that sometimes the past isn't really gone, it's just buried. Which, of course, leaves us with that one last incredible question. As this project keeps digging, as they uncover more and more of the original castle, is it possible that somewhere down there, in a sealed-off room or a hidden passage, Hideyoshi's lost gold is still waiting? After 400 years, what do you think?